Regular kind of morning, Beth calls them coffee clutches, just to kind of updates with our partners and community. And thank you for joining us on this kind of cold February morning. And I just wanted to just take a couple of minutes to thank, first of all of you for your support and dedication and encouragement over the past several months. It has been nothing but certainly challenging for all of us and in this time in this pandemic, both I think personally and professionally, and so, but it's, I'm amazed kind of what we've all been able to accomplish within this organization and within this mission since March of 2020. You're going to hear some updates, both programmatically on the competition side, as well as some things that we're doing on the kind of fundraising side. And then you're going to hear from some athletes in terms of their experiences, challenges, and even opportunities right now during this time. But, it's interesting because it has been extremely challenging when we basically, and really heartbreaking, when we had to start postponing and then canceling things like summer games and, our fall events and summer camp and everything in between, just to keep our athletes safe and our families safe and our volunteers safe. And it was always the right thing to do. But, I think what I'm truly amazed at is what we've been able to accomplish in this kind of remote virtual space that, last year at this time, we weren't talking about this at all. And so what we've been able to do is learn and develop things that we never thought we needed to. And I think what it's going to do is make us better as we start to open back up in the long run, because now all these virtual experiences that we've been able to do to engage our athletes and families and volunteers and partners and law enforcement, all these people in a virtual environment, I think it's just going to complement what we do when we start to really come back to in person. So, I'm kind of look at the positive right now. We're going to start to come out of this, hopefully in the next several months. We're going to be able to start to get back to some in-person opportunities. But I think that virtual piece is always going to be here to stay because, we're going to be able to engage with our athletes that maybe just can't get to something or don't have the opportunity or don't have a ride or want to participate in a fitness yoga class, but they just can't get to that place, but they can do it virtually. So I think it's really positive. And again, I just want to thank all of you for your support and encouragement through these last several months. You're going to hear, we've had to pivot a lot, especially, both on the competition program side and on the fundraising side. So you're going to hear from Jeff a little bit about that on the program competition side, and Jason regarding our big plunges that we've basically had to announce that have gone virtual. And then I know Beth on the back end is going to be sending out some links with other events that we've had to change, like the Snow Bowl from a March event up at MetLife Stadium, our flag football tournament that's going to May now. And so, take this opportunity to look at the links if there's anything that interests you or your company or your family to get involved with, whether it's virtually or it's a hybrid model. We just encourage you to don't forget about it. Keep us in your thoughts. And, I really look forward to when we're all back together again. And I'm standing in front of you in a room, having these conversations, not so much on the screen. So I will turn it back over to Beth. And again, thanks for joining.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Heather, for joining us this morning and doing a welcome. I would echo Heather's sentiments about just thanking all of our corporate partners, all of the individuals that have remained with us during these challenging times and uncertainty. But now we're in 2021. So I just, I've spoken to some of you more than others, but I always appreciate the dialogue and input and trying to work with each of our different partners on how to remain involved with us through these times. So I just want to give you a quick overview of what you can expect during our morning coffee clutch or tea clutch, as I mentioned. I hope to coordinate these more during the course of the year, because as Heather alluded to with the virtual opportunity, I think this is something to stay. And it's a wonderful opportunity to hear from my colleagues on what's going on, as well as from our athletes. So this morning we'll hear from Jason next, again, who oversees law enforcement torch run. and talking about those plunges. And then Jeff will speak, our Senior Director of Program, talking about 2020 and what that looked like for us and going into a little bit more detail, as well as what 2021 looks like for us. And then we will hear from our amazing star athletes, Heather and Michael, that are joining us this morning. And I want you to know that this is their first speaking engagement for Special Olympics New Jersey. So we're excited for them. They're excited to be here and just talk about what this past year has looked like for them, again, going into this year, but just new faces for us speaking. So we certainly welcome them to this call. And then after Heather and Michael speak, I'll just kind of bring it back home and wrap things up. Just know that this is being recorded, so it will be accessible after this Zoom, and then you can pass it along to other individuals. We'll probably have it posted on our website, and then I will give you Jeff as well as Jason's names and Diane for Snowball if you have questions, but I'll provide those links for you and that you can expect shortly after this as well. So from that end is that, and I want to give a shout out to my colleagues also, and Joey and Monica, who is being host and helping me with the chat rooms. I'm not as well versed in that, so she has certainly helped me. I thank you for those that did submit some questions in advance for our athletes. If there's something that surfaces during our call, please feel free to throw it in the chat that Joanne is monitoring, and then she can throw it out to our athletes when their time comes to speak about their experiences. So without further ado, if I can present Jason and turn it over to him to talk about the virtual plunges. Jason, on mute.
We can't hear you. No. Nope. Still can't hear you.
Modern technology. I don't know, Jace.
Nope.
Well, we could change it up and then maybe just see if we can figure it out with Jason's microphone and then turn it over to Jeff.
Yep. Can you hear me, Beth?
Yes, thank you.
All right. All right. I could cover you. I'll try and catch us up here with information on what we have been doing and where we're going. Picking up the thread that Heather spoke about, opening up about where we were last summer and getting into the virtual world and offering the community, both athletes, volunteers, and partners, the opportunity to be part of the virtual summer games. And I want to pick it up from there and talk about what we've been able to do, both at home and in person. And your support and your push, our athlete push, has certainly charged us with how we can figure out ways to safely and effectively get our athletes back onto the field and to provide dynamic, diverse programming at home. So concurrently doing two different elements of our program that we've never done before, and rewriting the script. And it's been a major challenge, but also in a good way, making us think differently. And we've had to rewrite our program in terms of what we've offered and how we're doing it. And this fall, when we released our first version of our return to activity plans, we had a very conservative approach, but the feedback we got from the athlete community was that they wanted to get back out this fall in our six fall sports that we have, which are cycling, flag football, soccer, golf, and equestrian. So this past September, October, we were very fortunate that we were able to offer 8 in-person events for about 40% of our fall athlete population. And those athletes were able to train during the months of August and September and into October. And each sport regionally was offered an in-person culminating event. So we were able to give our athletes that in-person culmination with medals, starting with the sport piece is very, very much drilled down on their individual sports, but very proud of the group and very excited, as were the athletes, to be able to offer those opportunities in person and the different sports that we had in the fall. And we continued our virtual programming in the fall with our continued build out of at-home health, wellness, and social activities during the fall season. And we took some of those ideas from the virtual summer games and we built on them. And we've continue to build out to this day are what we call our Total Body Challenge. Total Body Challenge is a mindfulness, wellness, and fitness challenge. It's a daily challenge. We're actually in right now, we're into version number 6. So each month, each day, athletes have the opportunity to get a word of the day if they do all 3 challenges, and they can put those towards prizes. So we've had athletes that have been a part of all of those Total Body Challenges, and we've certainly, I'll get into in a moment, some diverse at-home programming that we're doing now. But that Total Body Challenge, that was a takeaway from the summer that we continued through the fall. Knowing the winter was going to be a challenge with indoor events, we still have athletes right now training outside. Our on-snow athletes, unfortunately, we didn't have our winter games. And I see that many Delta Dental people out there that would typically be joining us last week up at Mountain Creek. However, we are continuing training for our winter sport athletes, and thank you to Delta Dental for that. We do have athletes that are going up to Mountain Creek during the week to do skiing. We've been able to work with Mountain Creek on the lessons, training, lift passes, and equipment rental for those alpine ski athletes. And we've also worked with the National Winter Activity Center, which we typically cross country and snowshoeing, which has allowed us to do a 6-week training program. So we have athletes going up there that started last week. So we are getting out, understanding the importance of our athletes continuing to move, allowing them to train on snow. And excited to share with you that starting next week, our basketball athletes and our bowling athletes will be able to get out and train. Now, it's not basketball as we typically would have it. Typically, we'd have 150 teams participating across the state in team play. However, we've been able to design a program that allows for individual skill. And a lot of our team sports since this fall has transitioned to an individual skill format, which has allowed us to safely space and safely offer programming. And that's very much in line with what our activity plans have been throughout the past 6 months. So those athletes will be getting out there and hopefully getting started next week. They will culminate hopefully in a bowling final March 20th. About 300 athletes so far have signed up to start training over the next month. And then we have about 100 basketball athletes to take part in the individual skills, which will culminate March 13th. All the while, we've understanding the challenges of the winter. And obviously, if you look out the window with the snow that's still on the ground and trying to keep everybody engaged during January, February, we transitioned our at-home programming to a whole new platform called SONJ at Home. And we diversified the activities, knowing that it's going to be harder to do sport-related activities during the winter months, given the propensity for indoor and not so much being able to get outside. So we've continued that Total Body Challenge. We've continued to do our live fitness classes that go along with it, live yoga classes, live Zumba classes, but we've also diversified the activities that are being done at home. We have dance parties, we have drawing classes, we have athletes leading wellness sessions. So it's been very enlightening to us. And as Heather mentioned about before, things we never thought we would be doing. For us to be doing athlete-led non-sport activities over Zoom is certainly something that wasn't in the strategic plan, but it's certainly something we will take forward in an innovative way. And it's great to see so many different athletes and different members of the community signing up to do these things with our athletes over Zoom. So there is that opportunity. I know that'll probably be one of the links that Beth will share at the end with the SONJ at Home and how you can sign up for that. And as we look ahead to our summer season, we're excited for the opportunity to offer our athletes our 7 summer sports of track and field, swimming, bocce, tennis, powerlifting, gymnastics, and softball. The opportunity to start training inside and out after Easter in early April. So we're looking forward to that. We hope to offer them culminating events over the weekend of June 12th, 13th in our summer sports final. We're looking at that weekend to perhaps follow the model we did in the fall, where we're going to be able to offer multiple sites over the weekend to offer culmination in those sports. In addition to that, we hope to get back rolling with our young athlete program, both at the complex and around the state, where we can get our athletes, our young athletes back outside at our complex and at different points around New Jersey with the 20 or so community programs that we do offer. We'll continue to plan and look ahead and how we can best utilize our complex. We talked about how we can take pieces of what we did in the fall, which was we had a weeknight activity for individual athletes at our place, both fitness-wise and sport-wise, and how we can apply that throughout the months of April and May to really program it out, because we found that athletes did not every team came back, not every program decided to come back for their own individual reasons, but we found that there was individual athletes that wanted to continue to get out and to train in person. So we've individualized some of the programming. So we're going to look to do that over the spring months at our place. And that would hopefully lead into a version of our summer camp. Some of you are involved in our Camp Shriver and help support that as well. And we would like to do something over the summer months at our complex throughout the month of July. We don't know what it's going to be, but knowing that we have models out there that we can use for individualized programming that we can offer to our athletes. All the while, these decisions and these activities are driven by the Special Olympics community, both with our sport experts, health experts, different members, volunteer groups that have helped drive that. But most of all, it's been athlete-led, and we've really leaned on our Athlete Input Council. The Athlete Input Council is the guiding body, that has been meeting over Zoom, I think, every Thursday for the last almost year. And they've found great success, great discussions. We've jumped on to calls with them to ask opinions and get feedback. And it's gone so well that the development of some branch clubs, localized athlete input councils at different pockets around the state have formed. So the athlete voice is continuing to be amplified throughout this entire time that we're doing business a little bit differently. And lastly, we'll continue, and you'll start to hear things along the lines of the 2022 USA Games in Orlando. The games are June of 2022. So you're going to start to hear some more pieces coming probably from Beth or from some others about Team New Jersey and different opportunities as we start to go down the road of what that looks like. From a New Jersey side, the games themselves they're hoping to be the biggest and best. It's down at the Wide World Sports Complex. So you're going to see a lot more coming out about the 2022 USA Games as well. I don't know, Beth, if you want to kick it back to Jason, or you want me to kick it over to Mike and Heather?
Actually, thanks, Jeff. Let's kick it over to Jason, and then Jason will speak for a few minutes, and he's going to kick it back to you to introduce our athletes.
Great. Thanks, everyone.
Awesome. Thank you, Jeff.
Let's try this again. Can you hear me now?
Yes, thank you, Jason.
Okay, very good. Sorry about that, everyone. Good morning. Again, I know it's been mentioned, my name is Jason Schubert. I'm the Senior Director of Law Enforcement Torch Run Initiatives. I work with our law enforcement community throughout the state to put on and execute large fundraising events and spread the word of Special Olympics and really throughout the state all year long. As we've said, today I'm going to talk a little bit about our two polar bear plunges, two of our marquee events when it comes to law enforcement torch run, and some of the obstacles that we've had to kind of think about and overcome over the last couple of months, and when we're thinking about what to do and how we can do it safely. Typically, we do host these two plunges in January and February. We hold Wildwood in January and the plunge down in Seaside Heights in February. Nationwide, programs have been struggling with what to do with these events because they are such large fundraising drivers for the programs. And one of the things that we did first was we tried postponing the events. So rather than January and February, going to March and April, really just to try to buy us some time to see how the COVID pandemic panned out and if things got better. And then as time went on, we just really felt that we weren't at a place where we wanted to be, where we could host a very safe event for everyone, whether we're the participants, the spectators, the staff, the volunteers, corporate partners, you name it. We really try to take everyone into consideration. So like a lot of programs across the country, we then decided to go virtual with these two events. So what does virtual mean? Really this year, we're going to allow you to plunge your way, really plunge however you want. And we've heard so many examples of really what that means. And there are a few that we're promoting. It could be something as simple as a water balloon fight in your backyard. Get the kids, get the grandkids out and let them hit you with water balloons. A bucket of water, a garden hose, run through the sprinkler, a super soaker water gun fight, or if you had to have a kiddie pool, hop in the kiddie pool. Right now there's snow on the ground. Go out and in your t-shirt and your shorts and make a snow angel. It could really be a number of different things, and we're really encouraging you to have fun with it. Be creative and have fun with it. This is a unique year. We've also heard some bigger and I won't say better, but bigger ideas that have come across. We have a team in Wildwood who's renting one of those large inflatable slides, and they're going to turn it into a water slide, and they're going to have their team get together, and that's how they're going to plunge this year. We have a couple of teams who are working with their local fire department, and the fire department's going to hook up the hose and spray the team down, really. in a safe manner, of course. We've even heard a story of a gentleman who ran through a car wash. And then also out there, there are different things like 30-day challenges. Do a simple plunge, one a day for 30 days, things like that. So I think part of the point for today in speaking with you all is we're always looking for ways to get everyone involved. And obviously corporate partners comes to mind right off the bat. So really looking for ways for you to get involved, asking for your support once again, if possible. And ways to do that, we found are really as a company or as an organization, different departments, or maybe the company as a whole, start a plunge team. Start that plunge team, have the employees who want to participate join the team, and everyone raises money as a whole. It's a minimum of $100. That $100 will get you the very coveted official Polar Bear Plunge hoodie, which people love every year. And then new for this year also as a little bit of an added bonus, we're also throwing in a commemorative 2021 virtual plunge knit hat. And then also there are more incentives as you raise more, you get more kind of a thing. Some popular trend that has been happening really nationwide over the last couple of years is some companies will start a team and they will set a fundraising goal, and that let's say that fundraising goal is $10,000. If that goal is achieved, then that president or CEO of that company is the one who takes the plunge. So it's really a nice, something that the team can rally around, team building, things like that. So again, just different ways to get involved, different ideas to really kind of throw out there to you guys. We obviously know that you support us every year, all year long. But in this unique year, we just thought it'd be nice to maybe throw something different at you as an idea. The other thing, as we said, this is a unique year. Plunging in the ocean, with thousands of people can be intimidating. And it's really something that maybe not a lot of people want to do. This virtual year really lets you plunge any way you want, really at a comfortable location, in a comfortable environment. No pun intended, but really just kind of get your feet wet when you start thinking about plunging and things like that. And it allows you to kind of experience the plunge on your own terms. So I know this was a quick presentation, but with my technological glitch there, I wanted to just get the ideas out there. I know that Beth is going to provide you with some links. We have two websites set up for both of our plunges. They're very simple: plungewildwood.org and plungeseaside.org. Wildwood, we are allowing people to complete their plunge through March 27th. And for the Seaside Heights plunge, we're allowing people to complete their plunge through April 17th. So there is some time. There's some ability to put some plans in place and see if you can rally the troops if you choose and try to support the plunges in this virtual way. And then obviously, if you have any questions, I think Beth will also provide my contact information, my email, my phone number. I'll be happy to go over any ideas, any suggestions that you may have, and see how we can make it work and what works best for you and your organization. So thank you very much. And I will kick it back to Jeff, who I think is going to introduce our athletes.
Yep. Thanks, Jason. And yes, I had mentioned about the driving force, and Michael and Heather have been around for a long time and certainly aren't shy with their opinions. So we've certainly taken some of those and tried to apply it. And they have a lot of experience with the organization. Have been doing the at-home activities. It gives me great pleasure. And I see that Michael has his 2018, one of them, USA Game shirt. Michael was on the softball team for Team New Jersey. So I'm sure he's got a story he could share there. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce Michael and Heather, all of you.
Hello. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm like out of it. I'm sorry. I haven't had breakfast yet.
Michael, I'm just gonna interrupt you a second, Michael, to make sure, just move up a little bit more. Michael's been having some difficulties with his microphone, so we apologize.
Yeah, it's built into my webcam. I'm terribly sorry.
That's all right. Just talk a little louder and then you can go ahead. You can.
I need some water. Hold on a second. Well, I should have had some water, but nah. My name is Michael Nimrod. I am a special athlete. I've been participating since 2002. Originally, that's when I started. I was an athlete for Marlins in the swimming team. The reason I started was with my friend Chris McMullen, who his mother was a swimming team coach, and she made me. My mom wanted me to do it, so I gave some exercise. That's how I got into Special Olympics. Along with that, eventually I had to take a hiatus for about a few years due to familial issues and I was out of state for about 4 years, since 2006 till 2010. I moved to Jesby House in 2010 after I graduated from high school. In 2012, my mentor, soon-to-be mentor, Eric Specht, God rest his soul, got me back into Special Olympics, and he passed away before the pandemic last year from stage 4 terminal lung cancer. And he taught me everything about Special Olympics, and he brought out the best in me, and like as an athlete, and he gave me the spirit of Special Olympics. He passed me the torch per se. And in 2018, I made the softball team for Team New Jersey. And then after that, I got bronze in the USA Games, which I left in my bedroom, unfortunately. So, and after that, the next following year, I hit a over the fence, legitimate home run in the States. My first ever home run. It's my pride and college achievement. And yeah, Special Olympics brings out the best, not just the best, but everything in me. It brings out my inner competition, my inner sportsman, if you will. It brings everything. It means a lot to me. Everything, if you will.
Michael, thank you, Michael, so much for that.
You're welcome.
Michael's very passionate and about everything that he does with Special Olympics, and he was very excited about coming here and talking with us. So, Michael, really, really, really appreciate that, buddy. Good job.
Thank you.
All right, now we're gonna turn it to Heather Schwam. It's your turn there. You ready?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Hi. So I'm Heather. Nice to meet you all. I have been doing Special Olympics for a long time. I don't know the exact year I started, but I can tell you that I participated in 2 sports, track and soccer, over the years. I did take some time off as well. I got married. to a former athlete of Special Olympics. His name is Sean Heath. He was very big in basketball, and he also did, I believe he did soccer at one point. I'm not quite sure. But, you know, I got married and I'm a hairstylist. And so I was at my job for 6 years. We just found out recently my job is shutting down. So I just got hired at a new salon, and the owners of my new salon are huge supporters of Special Olympics, which is kind of cool. They told me that they fund, they've made donations to Special Olympics, and that would be the Sport Clips in Florham Park. So that is really exciting. I love Special Olympics because before I got involved with this organization, I never got to witness the camaraderie, the teamwork, the excitement of coming together and achieving a common goal. I love that. I absolutely love that. And I get so excited for every season to not only try and achieve personal goals, but to achieve them as a team. So I'm really, really looking forward to this upcoming season for track and field in Special Olympics, and just the experience of, you know, cheering each other on, empowering each other, and really coming together as one.
Thank you, Heather.
You're welcome.
Beth, I'm gonna throw it back to you. We had, go ahead, Beth.
No, I was going to say, I know we had a couple questions, Joanne, that were tossed to us from the individuals that registered today. So if we want to ask some of those, like of our 2 star athletes, of their favorite sport,
Yes.
or something like, you know, what they,
Yep, I can do that.
thank you.
So Heather, I'll ask you first. So some of you guys, I mean, both you guys answered this a little bit, but I'll ask you, do you miss your friends and the competition?
I do, actually. Last year, it was definitely not the same because of the pandemic. I did participate in the virtual 2020 Special Olympics Games. This is the shirt from it. It was doing the individual competitions was definitely not, I don't know how to describe it. It made me miss competing with all my friends even more. You know, yeah, it's okay to, you know, train by doing the events and participating in all the wonderful activities that Special Olympics has online, the team you know, those virtual hangouts and the activities, but just getting back out there and really being with your coach on site and seeing your friends, it's definitely a whole different experience. And I definitely miss that.
And I see Michael stepped away there for a second. Next question, Heather, I'll give to you, and then we'll go back to Michael.
Okay.
So what challenges have you faced when training for your sport over the past year? And what have you done to overcome those challenges?
Well, I think everybody had challenges this past year because, you know, we all want to make sure that we're all safe, and we all want to be able to still be active. And I overcame it by doing lots of walking and trying to stay active by doing virtual 5Ks. I know Special Olympics participates in a lot of virtual 5Ks, and I'm looking forward to signing up for a bunch of those, as well as I also participated in other 5Ks that support charities in general as well.
Oh, Joanne, you're on mute.
I did mute myself. Michael, how about you? Would you, oh, let me get down here.
The first question.
The first question was, do you miss your friends and competition?
Oh, absolutely. I do. Second question.
Okay, so how do you how do you train in the off season and with everything going on? How do you train and what do you do to keep active?
I've been trying to train, but unfortunately, I can't get out because the masks sometimes make it hard to breathe when I'm doing like athletics. And not only, but there's nowhere to go basically for me to train for soccer, basketball, or even softball for that matter. It's just really hard. It's tough.
So let me ask you, the next question would be like, how do you, if it were a normal season, a normal year, how do you stay focused in the off season?
Training, like tons of training, cardio, planking, and focusing on each season as I go.
So is that a year round type of training that you would do? And you would do stuff to keep fit?
I would just train my body in the off seasons, like winter and after summer games, I just train. So I only just fall, spring, and summer sports, and that's it.
Joanne, if I may, could you just touch on the AIC and Athlete Input Council that both of these wonderful individuals are part of? Maybe
Sure.
something that they like about that, and
Oh, yeah.
talk about Athlete Input Council.
So Michael and Heather are part of what we are calling our local Athlete Input Council. And what our Athlete Input Councils are a group of our athletes that are registered with Special Olympics that get together. We have a state Athlete Input Council that gets together, like Jeff was saying, right now weekly. Normally it's about 4 to 6 times a year, but it's been way more than that, which has been great for us on our Zoom calls. And basically they talk about Special Olympics. The staff will come to us and ask us questions, ask us opinions, their opinions. And they really get together and they talk about things. They have guidelines, they have bylaws, things like that. That state AIC is you have to apply to it. It's like an interview process, things like that. But we started to get more athletes involved across the state and in the grassroots type of thing is to start local athlete input councils. And what that is our athletes that are parts of teams and friends groups, they can get together and they can talk about Special Olympics and they can be given some, starter questions and things like that, but they can just talk about things that affect them, good, bad, indifferent, whatever, anything about Special Olympics and the movement. And then they get that information back to us and we present it back to our state Athlete Input Council. And then that goes on to our, obviously our office and any departments that might be affected by that. And then to Heather in the board and things and presented. And some of the things in the past that our athlete leadership programs have done is they have come up with some spectator code of conducts, coaches code of conducts, things like that are out of all the competitions. So if you guys are volunteering and involved in it, you might see those we have a lot of the posters around that have that spelled out for you. And that came from our athletes. Some of the other things are like the sodas at summer games. The athletes are like, we're promoting health and why are we serving soda? So that went away. Then it was Gatorade and it's like, oh, that still has sugar in it. So now you see water there, and that came from some athletes and ideas from athletes. Other things are some recreational sports for our aging athletes and our older athletes. So we have pickleball will be starting. The new our new court in the back of our complex has 3 pickleball courts there, and that's going to be something we'll be starting as a recreational sport around the state. That can be unified. You guys can more than welcome to come and join our athletes at the pickleball courts around the state, which anybody who's played pickleball, it's a great sport and it can be done all year round. It can be done indoor or outdoor. So a lot of those ideas and all come from our athletes. We have athletes that are on our different committees, sports committees, and on board. We have an athlete on the board, things like that. So the athlete leadership is a very big thing at Special Olympics. We're really increasing it. And again, Heather, I really thank and appreciate Heather and Michael coming on here because this was their first time in doing it. We just really recently got them into this local Athlete Input Council that they're going to be starting up there, or they also have started, going to be increasing, I should say, the membership up there in Essex. So yeah, it's a big thing, and I'm glad you guys got to hear, everybody here got to hear our athletes.
Joanne, if I may, I'm just going to finalize because I know I said until 9:45. So I'm appreciative of everyone's time, but maybe if Michael and Heather can just, their last question is just saying their very favorite sport for Special Olympics, their top favorite sport to compete in, and then I'll just wrap things up after that for everyone.
Heather, you can go first.
Oh, she's on mute.
Yeah, she's,
Okay, so my very favorite sport is track and field. I absolutely love it. I love that it's something I can do outdoors. It's something that I can work with my coach towards achieving a big goal. And I really, really am looking forward to the season this year.
Great, thank you.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
Thank you, Heather, for your time. You did a great job today.
Thank you.
How about Michael? What's your your favorite sport?
Definitely softball because one, I get to hit a ball or to catch it if I can, if I'm in the outfield, when I'm in the field. Just running on bases, getting that feel, it's amazing. Going to the USC games. Oh, sorry, there you go. One of my crowning achievements in life, and getting to play with a bunch of people I consider good friends, and it was amazing. I want to be able to go back to like maybe Orlando. Softball is obviously something I excel at. I focus on the infield more than I do in the outfield, and per se, I would prefer just to be able to hit a home run or so, and have that excitement, the feel, the smell of the game, the excitement.
Love that, Michael. Love that. Love that.
And not only that, but I miss sports so much. I mean, literally, it's one big thing because I've had a lot of like trials in life that have been troublesome. I had lost my parents when I was like 16 years old in 2006 to a plane crash, which was caused by pilot error. And I was on hiatus from Special Olympics since 2006. I was in school in PA for like 4 years, and then came back in 2012 to come back to sports. And the biggest part of like all my other sports, soccer and basketball, softball is my best.
Awesome. Well,
And
Michael,
teamwork, it's a key component of what I do. I push myself. I try to even motivate my athletes too. I try to keep them together and say, even when we lose, we can still make a comeback.
well, Michael, thank you so much for being a part of this. You have done a tremendous job today in your first speaking engagement. Like I said, you both did a wonderful job. I know we're running over a couple minutes, so I just want to wrap things up here today and thank all of our corporate partners and committee members that joined us today, my colleagues. I hope everyone found it informative. Joanne, if you could just put up those couple slides real quick. Like I mentioned, if we can, like I mentioned at the beginning, it's recording. So I will be sending this link out to everyone so you can watch it again or pass it along to colleagues. There's a lot of great ways to get involved with us. And we're just most appreciative that everyone during these times has continued to support our athletes, because every person and every dollar matters, and you're all making an impact in your own right. These slides are just touching on what Jeff had mentioned, as well as about return to activity and what that looks like for our athletes. We absolutely welcome for corporate partners to get involved, whether it is the virtual plunges and being creative, to the snowball opportunity as a team, to getting involved with our total body challenge, to different opportunities. And so I will send that information out with my colleagues' names and information with their events. Obviously, you can reach out to me anytime to discuss things further, questions, concerns, recommendations. But at the end of the day, we are just most appreciative for our corporate partners and for our athletes who continue to plug along. And we can't wait for everyone to get back out there for all of their events like we have in years past. And we will all get through this together as a team. So thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Beth.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for all you guys do. And to the athletes, you were
Appreciate-
wonderful this morning. Thank you.
Thank you for
Great
allowing
job.
us the privilege of being here. Thank
Oh,
you so
it
much.
was our honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Heather. Thank you, Michael.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, great job. Okay, bye.
Good job. Joanne? I have a sports suggestion.
Good job.
Yeah, I
Thank
have a
you so
sister
much.
sport. Badminton.
What's that, Michael?
I was saying I was in touch with Joy and Monica about the possibility of doing badminton. It's a British sport. It's like a mixture of volleyball and tennis. But it's a really good sport. We could do that for the Asian Olympics athletes.
So you're saying badminton. You know, I played competitive badminton in college.
Oh wow, that would be good. It's a very good sport. I played it when I was in PA for a while.
Yes, it's a very, very, very good sport. It's very hard. It's not outdoor in your backyard.
Yeah, it's indoor. I mean, indoor is
sport.
very fun.
It's fun though. Yep, it's fun.
It also can play outdoor too.
Well, I thank you guys for coming on, Heather and Michael. I will be in touch with you guys. I thought it went really well, and